This year, Tina Louise, the woman who brought Ginger Grant to life on Gilligan's Island, turns 89. She's still one of the most cherished and well-known actors of her generation. But she hasn't been seen in public for long, leaving her fans curious about her whereabouts and activities. Join Facts First as we take a peek into the life of Tina Louise and what she's been up to. In the 1960s, Tina Louise was a screen goddess, best known for her role as movie diva Ginger Grant in the CBS comedy Gilligan's Island. Starting out on stage in the middle of the 50s, she had her big break in the lead role in the 1958 romantic drama God's Little Acre. For that role, she was nominated and won the Golden Globe for New Star of the Year. She starred as leading lady in several Hollywood films after that, including The Trap, The Hangman, Day of the Outlaw, and For Those Who Think Young. She gave great performances until the 2000s when she took a break after her role as Celeste Clark from North Goes South in 2004. But the sabbatical she took from acting served a useful purpose. Returning to New York from LA in the early 1990s, Louise was shocked to learn of the public school system's dismal literacy rate and felt compelled to help. So she went to a teacher who introduced her to Learning Leaders. This non-governmental organization works to get parents and other community members involved in education to help their children succeed. She became fully committed to supporting the vision and aim of Learning Leaders, even as she continued to work on other initiatives outside of acting. In an interview with Medium.com, she stated she enjoys giving back to the community and is especially enthusiastic about assisting youth by providing them with the tools they need to succeed. Sadly, an accident rendered her incapacitated for over a year, and by the time she'd recovered, much had changed. The first significant shift was the dissolution of Learning Leaders because its organizers were unable to secure corporate sponsorship. Then she started writing, something she'd been putting off for a long time. A few years later, she finished When I Grow Up, her first book, published in 2007. It encourages kids to follow their dreams by drawing hilarious and imaginative parallels between the accomplishments of different animals. As part of her ambition to become a vocal advocate for increasing child literacy, she donated a portion of the earnings from her book to literacy initiatives. In 2009, she released a second book for kids titled What Does a Bee Do? After a decade-long hiatus from acting, she made her return to the big screen in the role of Clarissa in the horror thriller Night of the Wolf in 2014. Her most recent acting appearance was the 2019 film Tapestry, in which she played Rose alongside Stephen Baldwin and Burt Young. Currently, Louise lives in New York City. The Last Woman Standing. Gilligan's Island aired on CBS from 1964 to 67. It's centered around 7 survivors of a shipwreck who find themselves on a mysterious island. And with the exception of Tina Louise, the entire cast has since passed on. Jim Backus battled with Parkinson's disease for a while and passed away July 3, 1989 in Los Angeles. Then there was Alan Hale Jr., who passed away from thymus cancer in Los Angeles in 1990. On April 13, 1991, Natalie Schaefer passed away from cancer at her home in Beverly Hills. Then there was Bob Denver, who passed away September 2, 2005 due to complications from cancer treatment at Wake Forest University Baptist Medical Center in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. At age 89, Russell Johnson died from kidney damage at his Bainbridge Island, Washington residence in 2014. And most recently, Dawn Wells died December 30th, 2020 at age 82 due to complications of COVID-19. Tina Louise stated that the news of Wells's death had left her in a state of disbelief. Even so, she remembered Wells with nothing but praise, saying she was a lovely person and urging everyone to keep her cheerful spirit alive in their memories. Despite her public refusal to appear in revivals like the 1978 TV movie Rescue from Gilligan's Island and the 2001 TV movie Surviving Gilligan's Island and others, she has said that she and her castmates were a family and they shared something special. She also dispelled long-standing speculation that she despised the part and the series. Instead, she claimed she was enamored of the role and gave it her all, particularly after a different director revised it. The too much skin criticism. When you're stuck on a desert island with only the clothes you brought, your sense of style isn't exactly at the forefront of your mind. However, Marianne, Dawn Wells, and Ginger, Tina Louise, wore a wide variety of clothing styles on the island, from short shorts and crop tops to formal gowns. But of course, given that they were on an island, it would have been out of place for them to wear sweaters and turtlenecks. Nonetheless, as the series was airing, their wardrobe became a hot topic, with some viewers objecting to the degree of skin exposed. When complaints about Gilligan's Island's overexposure of skin surfaced, TV shows were undergoing a radical shift in how they marketed themselves to audiences. In a 1996 interview, Dawn Wells expressed surprise over the public's fixation on her and Tina Louise's attire. She explained the reason they bared so much skin was because they wanted to fully embody the roles they were portraying. There was an article about the interview with the headline, "Times have surely changed. CBS censors used to get worked up about a navel or a little cleavage on Gilligan's Island." Louise's genius acting skills. One thing every fan or even critic of the show can agree upon is that Louise was fantastic in her role as Ginger. Because of that, the episode All About Eva gave her the opportunity to portray a new character, Eva Grubb. As Ginger and the others prepared to leave the island for good, special guest Eva Grubb had other intentions. In a 1966 interview with the Atlanta Constitution, Louise disclosed that because of the dramatic change in her appearance when playing the role of Eva, the Actors Union demanded the show give her additional credit. Nobody would have guessed that Louise was playing both roles unless they read the credits closely. What secret did she use to adopt this new persona? Let's just call it the genius of Louise. Ginger certainly had her share of on-screen moments, but never did she go to extreme measures like slamming someone in the head with a coconut, tying them up, or stealing their identity. And she wasn't even embarrassed about it. She was a miserable, neurotic schoolteacher who visited the island to get away from reality, but became terribly upset when she discovered Gilligan and the crew there. On a show that tended to trend more towards comedy, Grubb was the first tragic character. And although Louise thought the character was intriguing, some viewers disliked it and were relieved she only appeared in one episode. Paul Jones, who interviewed Louise, said in the piece that he had known her for years and was mystified as to why someone of her stature would appear on a show like Gilligan's Island. He asked how she got imprisoned in the program, to which she responded that the revision of the character's role made her stay, in addition to steady employment. Now it's time to hear from you. Which role of Tina Louise's, besides her role on Gilligan's Island, stands out most in your mind? Let us know in the comments section below.